Alright, let's talk quickly Suicide Squad. And I have one thing to say to one of my subscribers, Tom Cabler, because I always come from facts, right? So if you look in front of you, you're looking at Suicide Squad right now and where it is engrossed in terms of its box office. But this is as of Thursday. Apparently, over the weekend, they're not going to give the box office numbers. They probably adjust it sometime during next week. So I want to show you something though. In terms of Warner Brothers, Suicide Squad is a movie that is actually the sixth highest grossing movies that Warner Brothers ever had, which is really impressive because, as you can see here, this number is pretty close to Batman v Superman's number if you think about it. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you guys is that in all-time box office worldwide, Suicide Squad is now, I believe it's already been, but I think it's at 76th position currently according to Box Office Mojo, but I'm pretty sure it's already at the 75th position. It's taken over Chronicles of Narnia, and it's going now after Madagascar, which is about 1 million and something ahead of it. So I think Box Office Mojo, they're going to have to adjust their findings. I know they're behind in their international amounts as well. So when they get their numbers all crunched together properly, it's going to be somewhere close to chasing down Madagascar next. So look out for that. So I just wanted to just mention that in terms of Suicide Squad. Now on to Tom Cabler's comments. He said how he doesn't want to vote for a criminal. I just want to tell Tom Cabler from fact how Hillary Clinton has been demonized. So if you go to PolitiFact, which is very interesting, winner of a Pulitzer Prize and so on, they say, in context, what Kevin McCarthy said about Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. Now, just to give you a little background, the Benghazi Committee, right? The Benghazi Committee was actually designed to look into the events of Benghazi and Benghazi alone. It wasn't to witch hunt any one particular person, and we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. However, the then majority leader of the House, Kevin McCarthy, who was vying for GOP Speaker of the Congressional House, Kevin McCarthy, in an interview with Sean Hannity on Fox News, and I have it in front of you so you can see, this here is Kevin McCarthy, this is Sean Hannity. He said some very damning things that pretty much told us that the committee that was designed to look into Benghazi wasn't designed to look into Benghazi. It was actually about a witch hunt against Hillary Clinton, and I'll show you that very, very clearly. So you can always go to this site and read all the events of the transcript. But in effect, Kevin Hannity, he was accusing Kevin McCarthy of the Congressional House being weak, especially the Republican Congressional House being weak on certain issues like Obamacare, where they actually supported it. They're looking at supporting Planned Parenthood. They're looking at they actually supported also funding other actions that the Democrats brought forth to the House. So McCarthy, he said, well, you probably are asking me how I would be different to John Boehner, because John Boehner was the then Speaker of the House, the Congressional House, not the Senatorial House, but the Congressional House. John Boehner had been working along with Barack Obama to try to bring a balance to what was happening in the House, which was majority led by the GOP. Now, McCarthy, in deciding to address certain issues, he wanted to show how he would be different from John Boehner, because he was going up to be the successor of John Boehner. So in doing so, he said, I know you want to ask it. That is, ask that what would I do as leader of the Speaker of the House? What you're going to see is a conservative speaker that takes a conservative Congress that puts a strategy in place to fight and win. Once more, I'm going to say it again. I know you want to ask it. What you are going to see is a conservative speaker that takes a conservative Congress that puts a strategy in place to fight and win. Let me give you one example. Everybody thought Hillary Clinton was unbeatable, right? But we put together a Benghazi Special Committee, a select committee, What are her numbers today? Her numbers are dropping. Why? Because she's untrustable. But no one would have known any of that happened had we not fought and made that happen. That is as partisan as you can get and as political as you can get. It's a horrible statement that he said, and it basically reveals the intent of the Benghazi Committee, which was not a special committee designed to look into the events of Benghazi, but according to him, it was to get Hillary Clinton's poll numbers down. Okay? Horrible way to couch that. And so, as a result of that, House Republicans repudiate McCarthy's comments on Benghazi probe. And also, and you're seeing everything here, I'm showing you from facts, right? This is reported. It's his own words. Editor's note, since we first published this report, McCarthy dropped out of the running for Speaker of the House of Congress. Okay? He was supposed to come as a successor of John Boehner. He dropped out. Why? Let's go to it. House Republicans repudiate McCarthy's comments on Benghazi probe. House Republicans on Wednesday sharply repudiated Republican Kevin McCarthy's comments that suggested that Benghazi Oversight Committee had succeeded by tarnishing Hillary Clinton, saying it undermined their party's message on a key issue and raised questions about his ability to be GOP's top communicator. Because the Benghazi probe is into the events in Benghazi, Libya. What happened to the ambassador there? That's what that was supposed to be about, not about witch hunting Hillary Clinton. But this guy, he straight up says it was a witch hunt to make Hillary Clinton look bad so her poll numbers could drop. Okay? I want you to see where this Hillary is a criminal, Hillary is crooked came from. Okay. They repeat McCarthy's statements. Everybody thought Hillary Clinton was unbeatable, right? Unbeatable? Why is that a big issue? Because she was a big threat. But we put together a Benghazi Special Committee, a select committee. What are her numbers today? Her numbers are dropping. Why? She's untrustable. But no one would have known any of that happened had we not fought. He's saying we are responsible for her low poll numbers by putting together this committee to witch hunt her. Speaking to CNN's Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room, Republican Jason Chaffetz of Utah says McCarthy should apologize, saying the California Republican made an absolutely inappropriate statement. John Boehner, he tried to smooth the waters by saying this investigation has never been about former Secretary of State Clinton and never will be. He was trying to smooth the waters and protect Kevin McCarthy. And privately, Republicans were outraged by the remarks, saying the House Majority Leader had given Democrats unfounded ammunition to argue that the committee's investigation is squarely being driven by politics. Republicans on the committee had tried for months to keep the focus of the inquiry on the administration's handling of the attacks, avoiding getting into the ins and outs of the various aspects on the email stories. But in one fell swoop, McCarthy undercut their strategy. I might have said it differently, Republican Darrell Issa told CNN. Any ancillary political activity that comes out of this is in fact not the goal of the committee and is not what the committee is seeking to do. But as you all know, they went on to talk about Hillary Clinton's emails and her emails, and basically they politicized Hillary Clinton's emails, which had nothing in them to this point. Even the FBI investigated the emails and found nothing. It's been a witch hunt since then. And it was simply to politicize Hillary Clinton and try to put her in the worst light possible for the election so that whoever their candidate would be would win against her. Another GOP congressman says Benghazi panel meant to hurt Clinton. Another Republican lawmaker says the House Select Committee on Benghazi is meant to go after former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Republican Richard Hanna of New York says Wednesday on New York's WIBX 950, sometimes the biggest sin you can commit in DC is to tell the truth. This may not be politically correct, but I think that there was a big part of this investigation that was designed to go after people and an individual, Hillary Clinton, said Hanna, who is not a member of the committee. After what Kevin McCarthy said, it is difficult to accept at least a part of it was not. I think that's the way Washington works. But you'd like to expect more from a committee that spent millions of dollars and tons of time. These are all facts, my friend. And not only facts coming from Democrats, these are Republicans saying these things. And the most damnable statement was coming from Kevin McCarthy. This is what Donald Trump represents. He's trying to show how crooked Hillary Clinton is based on no facts whatsoever. The FBI did not condemn her. They're reopening the investigation, and now they're doing a political ploy where after the campaign, the election campaign is over, then they would go through the details of the investigation. We know very well Hillary Clinton is not going to be put into prison for this. She's above board with most of her emails. We already know this. We already know she didn't have 33,000 emails that was missing like they are all alleging. That's hyperbole. We all know it was that 30,000 emails were found, and there was approximately 50,000 emails or thereabouts, or I think it was 40 something, so about 15,000 or whatever were gone, and they were able to retrieve some of them. So my point anyway is this: they cannot find wrongdoing both on the Clinton Foundation, on Hillary Clinton, not more than any other politician in Capitol Hill. Okay, she did use a personal server for her personal emails. She did have some interaction with some things, but not necessarily classified documentation in her emails. My point anyway is this: this has nothing to do with Benghazi. Nothing, Mr. Tom Cabler. Nothing. It was a committee on Benghazi, not a committee on a witch hunt for Hillary Clinton. And she still went and she answered their questions. Donald Trump, we have questions about his income tax returns, and he won't present the information. You have any question on the Clinton Foundation, the information's there. They have income tax returns, so you can look at their income tax returns. You can look at their data. You can track what interactions and transactions they've had. That's why people are trying to dig up all kinds of dirt. I've heard lie after lie after lie about Hillary Clinton. How she was happy to defend a rapist. No, she was not glad to defend a rapist. That's why she started the rape center. She started the rape center because she found out from the woman, which she had successfully defended a case and let a rapist go free. She was disturbed, and she said this was the worst thing that could ever have happened. She did her job, but she was not happy about it, and that's why she founded the Rape Crisis Center. Because Hillary Clinton is an activist, and she's a feminist. No, she's not a lesbian. She's a feminist. It's a different thing. It's about equal pay, equal rights. Women should have equal wages. It's about families. The minimum wage should be raised even further. It's about homes and households. We should have more advanced paying jobs, and people should be educated so that they can take up these jobs. And these open vacancies in a wide green economy now. There are wide open places for people who are coal miners. There are wide open places for people who are metallurgists. There are wide open places for those who are electricians, for people who do hands-on work. But we have to educate them so that they can take up these jobs. There's a huge market in a very huge, like a new frontier for cyberspace and cyber commerce. Hillary Clinton understands that we can't always have a 9-to-5 job where you're a paid labor and you don't do much thinking and you just go collect a paycheck and go back home. We need people now who can think, can maximize, who are efficient in raising funds in this economic climate. Donald Trump talks about building a wall. Hillary Clinton talks about securing the security of a nation, but not preventing immigration and emigration from a nation. A wall between Mexico and America is an idiotic idea that George Bush didn't entertain, senior and junior. Neither Ronald Reagan nor even Bill Clinton. nor Barack Obama, because they knew building a wall is not going to stop immigrants from coming into a country illegally. They'll find a way. What is needed is not walls. It's not isolation. It's not going it alone as an economy or a country. And for these white demographic men who feel that they're being robbed of their just due in society, even though they have jobs, even though they have an economy, even though they're striving along, stop being jealous of other people and take hold of the prize. Take hold of the pie out there. There's opportunities aplenty. America is the land of opportunity. But you will have to be a little bit more innovative, a little bit more creative. You'll have to go into the things you like to do or the things you are prone to do and the skill sets you have. Develop, refine, and sharpen your skill sets. Become more advanced. And then take on contracts. Be your own employer. Small business growth has grown by leaps and bounds since the Barack administration. This is why the economy has been able to bounce back. People are taking responsibility in their own hands and not just looking to work for someone anymore. If small business thrives in the United States of America because you guys talk about it's a nation of capitalists, well, if small business thrives in America, America will thrive. There are so many different economies for small business. So many small business loans and incentives for small business to thrive. So go for it. You don't have to work for someone. You can work for yourself. So that's what I got to say to Tom Cabler. This is a new age in which you have the world at your fingertips. This is how I'm able to talk to you. So while they're busy going on a witch hunt about Hillary Clinton but providing no alternative solutions, Donald Trump has no foreign policy. His foreign policy is, well, I got to keep it close to my chest, because if my enemies know what it is I'm doing, then they will be prepared for it. That's dumb. You have to lay out to the American public at least your strategies. And foreign policy is not just about protecting yourself against terrorist threats. Foreign policy means, what does America do for the world? How do we set the tone in communities? We're not just a police dog. We also help other economies thrive. And if you pick up democracy, you too can be part of this huge, vast frontier. Not just economically, but morally. Because we are accepting of every person, every culture, every society. We want the best of the best. We're not exclusionists. We want you to come to our borders. We're going to have to check you out to make sure that you're up to par, legally speaking, as anybody would, because they have security at their borders. But at the end of the day, if you prove to be someone who could join America and help build the country, because the country is a country of immigrants, man. You cannot be excluding Muslims. You cannot be excluding black people. You cannot be excluding Asians. You cannot be excluding Mexicans. You don't talk about the most derogatory things about people and expect them to be inspired. People will hate you for it. You're a minority. You're a Republican group, 60% of you guys. You don't like being talked down to. You don't like being called stupid. Because you're American. Not only are you American, but you have something to offer. And you have something that can make America great. Greater than it is. A lot of you guys have technical skills. A lot of you guys have the hands-on approach. You're farmers. You're technical people. You know what it is to work hard. And you will get your rewards if you use a little bit of innovation. And if you're not creative, get around creative people. And they'll give you ideas. The agricultural sector of the United States of America is a very powerful sector. Hillary Clinton is looking to put more laws down on the drug lobbyists. Put more laws down on oil and gas and coal. There's reasons why there needs to be laws on these things. There got to be laws on the green evolution, climate change. And yes, of course we affect the climate, whether it's artificially or not. If there are certain minuscule parts of the policies that you don't agree with, then don't agree with them. But don't prevent progress from moving forward. I do not agree with abortion, even though there are exceptional cases where I understand a baby needs to be aborted. I do not agree with the LGBT community, but I understand and have to accept the reality that there are a lot of gay, bisexual people out there and people who are transgender. And I have to respect them. I don't want to know about their sexual lives per se, but if I do find out, it must not change my opinion of their contributions to society. Gone were the days where we used to bash on people who are not like us. People with disabilities. Everybody gets out there. They don't make excuses. They get out there and they work. That's America for you. So, Tom Gabler, you must be able to separate fact from fiction. People laying on thick to the Republican base, letting them hear what they want to hear because they want to target something and hate it. They want to be divisive. They want to blame someone for their problems that they're having and their difficulties. But that's not how Americans are. We do not blame people for our problems. We suck it up and we get out there and we do what we need to do to succeed. We don't cry all day. We don't blame and point the finger. We work. That's your job on voting day. You can vote for Donald Trump, who has no specific policy on anything. He's good at pointing the finger and crying like a crybaby, but he has no solutions. And he's a demagogue who anybody criticizes him, he looks to slash and burn them. I guarantee you there'll be no democracy if he becomes president of the United States. You guys would have made the biggest mistake of your life, just like the guys at Brexit. For right now, the UK economy is falling because these idiots thought they could do it alone in a global community. And for those people who hate globalization, well, I guess you need to turn off your internet. Shut down your community from outside world and just work by yourself. Because that's the dumbest thing you can ever do. A person is only as good as the people around them. And if the people around them are all about communes and being by themselves, guess what happens? Not even Christians do that. They're going to become a law unto their own selves, into their own reality, and they're going to fall. We need each other in this global community. You guys have a great one.